Well, good morning, beloved, my friends, people of God. This is Brother West coming to you with another word of encouragement. I want to show you something, and the title of this message is called Trapped in Transition. And what's interesting about that is that 3 days ago, I was just meditating and just walking around, and I heard God say, it's a trap. And I'm thinking, man, and I knew what he was talking about, because one of the things that happened with me is that God shows me a lot of things in the future, but the frustrating thing about it, I can't do nothing about it. There's certain things that he showed me, and matter of fact, there's a certain warfare that he showed me. He showed me the warfare, and I knew the warfare. So what I was trying to do, I was trying to fight that I didn't have to face the warfare. I was going to fight the fate where I had to face it, but I had to face it, and I had to face it, and this is actually where many of you are at right now. And the thing about it, a transition. When you're in transition, you don't have no control. You can't you can't manipulate the situation. You can't fix the situation a certain way, or nothing like that. At this place, you have to totally, completely depend on God, and God does that to me. And so this is why when I said, for me personally, when God told me to step back in that dream, what he was telling me when I had to step my left leg back and the fire came, it was for this particular situation right here. He told me to step back because I was like, God, you already showed it to me. You already showed me the warfare, so I want to block it. I want to block it. But God saying, no, step back. And so I had to step back. You know, it was rough. It's been rough, but I trust God. Let me give you a scripture. Moses, after Moses had left Egypt on the backside for, he was on there for 40 years. And at the end, he met God in a burning bush. And God told him to go back to the very place that that you came from, Egypt, and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. But I have heart in his heart. So in other words, there's going to be a fight. You're going to go through changes. But in the end, God's people will be free. And this is what God is saying to you, is that you got to go. You got to face it. You got to fight. You got to fight it. There's going to be so many adversities. There's going to be so many things that's going to be resistant. But see, the thing about it that I love is that when God spoke to me about the trap wasn't for me, but the trap was for my warfare. The trap was for my enemies. It was for my enemies. It was for my enemies. Just like with Egypt, that trap was for Pharaoh. It was for Pharaoh. Moses had to go through the changes, but Pharaoh eventually met his demise. And so, beloved of God, what's happening? God is trapping your enemy. See, your enemies and your adversary and your pain think it has the upper hand, but God is in control. But what God is doing in this particular season, this hour, he's stretching your faith. And also, this is why you're fighting anger. You're very emotional. But in this place, this is why God's saying to be still. Transition. You're trapped in a transition. And the thing about it, with transition and a transit bus, I'm in Atlanta. The thing about with a transit bus, it goes from one stop to the next. But the thing about that bus, you must sit in it. You must be still. This is why God is saying be still. See, because God is taking you through your transition. Your faith is bringing you through your transition. So don't get angry at your circumstance. Don't get angry at the situation, but trust God. Trust God in the situation, because God knows exactly what he's doing. It is a setup. See, the adversary in this situation think that you're being set up, but really he's been set up. And what's going to happen, you are not going to see this enemy no more. See, the thing about it, even with Pharaoh, even with Moses, when he went back to Egypt, and Moses and Pharaoh said no. So after Pharaoh said no, what did God do? God began to send plagues. God began to send situations in their life that it made it hard for them to hold on to that blessing. And see, Israel was the blessing that they had to let go of, but they were holding on to it because God had hardened the king's heart up. But the last thing happened that broke his back, and he had to let him go. Listen to me. There is coming a move by God that's going to break the back of your situation. Going to break the back of it. God said, take your hand off of it. And he's talking to me too, because these last few days, and I'm in a situation where it has made me extremely angry, extremely upset, because I already saw, he showed it to me. And so now I can't do nothing about it but pray. I can't do nothing about it. I can't be around the situation. It's like I'm being blocked from the situation, and I can't do nothing but pray. And I can't do nothing but pray and speak God and praise. And so this is what I'm doing. I trust God. You need to trust God. Stop looking at your circumstances. Stop looking at that situation. That situation may look bigger than you, but greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. And let me tell you something else. There was a situation where Israel's adversary was trying to bum rush them, going to try to do something to them or catch them by surprise. But I'm going to tell you what God did. God revealed it to the prophet. And so when they went to do what they do, to try to trap God's people, God had already revealed it. And the place that they thought they were at, they wouldn't even know. And so listen to God in this place. See, because God, what trap or what the adversary is trying to do to ambush you, God's going to reveal it to you at that place where he's trying to get you. And you ain't going to be there. And you know what's going to happen? In the presence of your enemies, God is preparing a table before you. So in the midst of your danger, in the midst of your pain, in the midst of your despair, in the midst of where you done lost all control, you're in transition, you're in that process. In the midst of all of that, where you're uncomfortable. See, because in a transition, you're uncomfortable, but you just got to sit there and watch where you go from stop to stop. You can't do nothing about it, but sit there until you get to your destination. And so God is saying, sit there until you get to your destination. Sit there until I open up your Red Sea. And the way that God opened up your Red Sea is through your faith, Moses. Open it up. God says, what have I put in your hand? What have I put in your hand? You asking God what to do. God is saying to you, what have I put in your hand? What gift have I given you? Have I not given you praise? Have I not given you faith? Have I not given you my spirit? Trust me in this situation. And I am going to bring you out. I'm going to bless you in a greater way. The reason why you're going through what you're going through is because I'm stretching your faith. Because now you're in relationship with me. It's called the fellowship of your suffering. And the more you suffer, the more you see me, the more you feel me, the more you become me. Are you hearing me? The other day, I was meditating, and I heard these words. God said, become the very thing. You're becoming the very thing that you're chasing. And become the very thing that you become God. Become like God. You're chasing him. Become just like him. Seek him where you might be found. Amen. Good morning. God bless you.